Hi folks on YouTube, welcome back. Northstar here with another of the Age of Wonders 3 multiplayer series we've been doing. Sorry, we just talking a little. Joe move his hero. Yeah, that shock serpent that's almost full health could probably be like next to the rocks and next to the rail. Can move 4, right?
Yeah.
And just go into
So
guard
so
mode there.
so between sorry, next to the rock and the orc leader, that tile?
Yeah. Then the warg
Okay.
might actually rush all the way forward and hit it once, which is not a terrible thing because um, it'll retaliate and
Where should I put the other baby shock serpent and the penguins? Do you think?
the other one's wounded, so I might put it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Just making sure the warg can't rush it. Probably next to the first shock serpent. Just but only 3 tiles from its current location, like further back, so that the war can't reach the wounded shock serpent. I'd be trying to keep that
Yeah.
one from getting attacked
So like
right
not
away.
on the railway, but next to the railway.
Yeah, probably there.
And then should I use my dire penguin to block off that railway? You know, to stand on between the shock serpents and the other rock, so right on the end of the rail.
You probably actually
Wall
want to
off
set
that side.
flanking, so I'd have it go around to the other side of the rocks.
Oh yeah.
Like, um,
Just move 3 tiles to the other side of the rocks.
you could actually do 4 and move like on the other side of the
4.
railroad from the shock serpents.
Do you think it'd be good to move that far though, or because it might attack the penguin?
Yeah, but the
Well,
penguin's
I
got
guess it's
life
fine.
steal, so if it gets
Yeah.
attacked, it'll just.
Okay. I can have him go here.
Yep.
Okay, and then the initiates.
Yeah, pick somewhere relatively safe, I guess, behind. Um, there's a decent chance that they come rushing around. So I'd probably just gather. Are they both full health? Yeah. One's veteran level. Um, I'd gather the one that's further back next to that rock. Probably. Um,
Okay.
and the one that's
Which rock? The rock on the right or the left?
the little rock that it can reach on your left. Yeah.
Okay. Right here?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool.
Because it can move a bunch and still attack, since it
Yeah.
only attacks once per turn anyways. It's
Yeah.
similar like a crossbow. It's not like a 3 attack per turn thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and the since you got that kind of bottleneck and it's good to encourage him to go that way, I might have the other initiate stand like next to the shock serpent and the rock. And also have a nice clean line of sight
Where?
there. Between the shock serpent and the rock on the right.
Yeah, you can't quite make it there. You can only move 4 tiles.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Okay, well next to the shock serpent in that direction.
All right.
Is what I'd suggest. It's fine. It can move 4 tiles and attack next turn anyways.
So like just one more tile to the right.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I see.
just try to lure the warg that way so you can flank it and like kill it with all these
All right.
units.
Cool. All right. Let's see what they do.
Wargs aren't the smartest, though. If you ever come across bleak wargs, they're much smarter. They're programmed to be smarter.
Yeah.
The description even mentions that they're explicitly that they're smarter than normal wargs.
Yeah.
Bleak wargs are like ice wargs. They do frost damage and they have more
Oh,
health, and
they did nothing. That's really weird. Huh.
they didn't move at all.
Yep, they all just defended. Every single one of them.
That's actually good. That allows you to just inch up and not have to like set
Okay.
things up better for next turn.
Should I should I move forward and just try to befriend the hunter spider?
You can't. I mean, that's got very short range, right?
How short?
Probably 3 tiles, or maybe it has to be adjacent. If you
Is there a
highlight the
way I can
ability to show the range, that's what I'm saying. If you click the ability when you have the hero selected, it should show like hexes with blue circles or something.
Nope. So it might be touch. There's no circles. So yeah, it might be adjacent. It's probably adjacent. He probably
Yeah.
needs movement to get there. Shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would just kind of block the bottleneck of the railway with like then with the penguin and the 4 health shock serpent and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you're
Like
gonna
right
need
here.
it's gonna need to go closer for the hero to be able to shoot the warg. Looks like
Yeah. He might be able to get a yellow if he moves into the hole between the two rocks. He'll have yellow, and then he might be able to get 2 shots on the warg. I think.
hmm, uh
Yeah, he should be able to.
let's see, because he has
He'll be moving 2 tiles closer, and he's just 2 tiles out of range. So yeah, I think he just needs to move 1, 2, 3 tiles to get 2 shots in.
yeah, I think he has to actually be closer than the shock serpent currently is to hit it. So yeah, maybe the penguin should stand. Like get like
Oh,
3 tiles.
that warg? I was talking about the other warg.
I'm
Although
saying
he'll have line of sight penalties. Oh wait,
no, I'm talking about the one that's on the right.
no, yeah, he
It
will have line of sight.
he
Okay.
needs he only has a range of 5 tile with the longbow. So you can count
Yeah,
off the hexes. He needs to be like
he
one
can. He
tile
can.
closer than
Can
the
he shoot
shock
the warg
serpent.
on the left?
No. He should be out of
Oh,
range.
he is.
Well, I mean, he could try and get to it, but then they would race around that way. Um, and there'd be line of sight penalties.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I might have the penguin like move directly towards the warg a couple tiles. And then
Yeah.
yeah, closer because the hero's gonna have to get closer than that. You're probably gonna end up losing the shock
Should I move up?
serpent.
Should I move up the shock serpent as well?
Yeah, but to the left. Like I would have it go 2 tiles and then guard, but not directly towards him, like one to the left.
So now go left to
Yeah.
stay close to the wall.
Yeah, because he's currently standing where your hero will need to stand.
Okay.
Now your hero could probably take pot shots.
I see.
Yeah.
All right,
So
I'll
yeah,
move my hero forward. Okay, should I shoot the warg? Then is that higher priority?
yeah, it's the dread spider has higher defense,
Okay.
and the warg moves faster. So
Should I move my dire penguin at all, or just have him defend?
I would have it guard because
Okay.
you're gonna have to worry about like the dread spider already closing and trying to web things for what it's worth.
And should I have the initiates just follow in behind the hero and the penguin? And then I guess the
Um,
baby shock serpent can just, you know, protect their flank.
Yeah, it can protect the rear because don't forget the dread spider can, so
Yeah.
the hunter spider can warp over and attack the rear. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would have the two initiates fall in behind, and to actually be able to do that, you'll have to have the shock serpent move first for the other initiate to get behind your hero. But
Oh no, this one can reach.
oh yeah, you can go the other route. I see. Never mind. Yeah, and then
All right. And then just move one tile to the right with the shock serpent onto the rail. Or should I have him move two tiles so he's next to both initiates?
I'd probably have moved two tiles so it's next to both and just guard.
Okay. Oh, this initiate can actually get a shot off on that warg already.
Oh, nice.
Didn't
Yep.
realize that. That's handy.
Yeah, might as well take the shot.
They. Oh no, this one will have to guard. Yeah, this one can't reach. Okay. Cool. All right, that's good. Let's see if they actually attack now. There we go.
Oof.
Oh, wonderful. Uh-oh. So I don't want to kill this thing. Do I want to weaken it? Does weakening it make it easier to befriend at all, or is that not
No.
irrelevant?
It does
Okay.
not.
So I don't want to hurt it before trying to befriend it. I just want to befriend it, and if it fails, kill it.
Do you have any
Right?
spells that can deal with the webbing? Like for your main leader, if you click spells in
Oh,
the bottom
right,
right.
right. Dispel? Dispel might do that, right? Is that a magical enchantment?
No, it's physical effect.
Oh. Then
Hmm.
I don't think so. I have Dispel, Root Spears, Stoning, Suffocate, Seeker Enchantment, and Twisting Roots.
Hmm.
Shoot.
Darn. Well, gotta take something down. Oh, that warg's at 1 HP. So you could probably have your
Shock Serpent finish it off? Oh, Warg
uh,
has first strike.
I would have, no, as I say, I'd have the initiate, the one with 35 health, finish off, though I'd probably have it fall back further because of that hunter spider. Um,
Yeah.
Try and put a little distance because the hunter spider will probably maybe kill the shock serpent and then try and reach the other initiate. Although,
I don't. Hmm. I'd rather not lose this Shock Serpent because it's closer to leveling up. It's almost a veteran. The other one I
yeah,
don't mind losing because it has 0 XP.
I, yeah,
Hmm.
let's see. If you put that shock serpent in guard mode, what it, the one that's damaged, let's see what it says for how much damage it would take then. Could take up to 27 damage. Could take as little as 15. So it might die, it might live. Um, hmm.
Hmm. I don't. I almost want to kill the Hunter Spider and just try to get the other one instead.
Um, excuse me.
Just because this one's really inconvenient.
Hmm. Well, I mean,
But I don't
that's
know.
why
I don't
they're
know if that's
so
good.
useful.
Yeah.
It's because they do that. Hmm.
Hmm.
You might kill it with retaliations anyways, but if your unit's guard, then they'll be better protected. Um, So yeah, I would have the other initiate like fall back a tile and just shoot the warg from
Just one tile?
yeah. You don't need to put too much distance. If you do, that other warg will try and race around the rocks to reach it.
Oh, right. Okay.
It could
And then
already
finish that
reach
work.
the initiate, but it would have to use all its movement to get there.
Okay. All right.
Uh, or actually, what's this range? Yeah, you could fall one further back, like directly away from the wargs, just to make sure the other warg doesn't reach him and cause issues or make it harder. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd put
like away from the wall.
yeah. Should
Okay.
still be able to do 1 damage, 2 to 3
Yep.
damage. Yeah,
Okay.
it would just finish it from there, maximum range, so that yeah, because the
Sweet.
initiate was about to level up.
Hmm.
Yeah, because before the other ward could race around and flank the initiate. Now it can still reach the initiate, but it won't have flanking, so it's safer this way by putting the extra tile distance in. Because flanking is
Do
anything.
you?
Just to kind of
Hmm.
illustrate this, like see that initiate that just fired? The three
Yeah.
tiles in front of it, no flanking. The three tiles behind it, flanking. So
Yeah.
that's the way I think of it. Unit
So
faces
if I
direction.
attack this dread spider baby with the shock serpent, my dire penguin can flank this dread spider baby.
Uh, bu- 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 bu-
Is
bu-
that a good idea?
I would probably attack it the with the dire penguin, actually. Um,
Yeah.
hold on. You
And
might be
then
able.
flank. The dire penguin has 3 hits though, and the baby shock serpent only has a single one.
Oh, it only has one hit. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it got attacked. It's
Uh,
got one action point left.
yeah, you could do it. Just be warned that warg is going to tear the shock serpent to pieces.
I don't care. This one has zero,
Yeah,
5. It has 5 XP right now.
yeah, yeah. So you could sacrifice. You are kind of low on mana anyway, so yeah, you got too many
Yeah.
shock serpents upkeep.
Hmm. I can't do anything with orc, so this is the only way I know how to. This is the only thing I can think of right
Yeah.
now.
So if you attack the dread spider, the penguin can move one tile and then attack the dread spider from there,
Yeah.
or even go around 2 tiles. The reason for that you'll see. But anyways, yeah, I would attack and see what happens with the shock
With the
serpent.
shock serpent. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Dread
They're
spider got
flanking now.
yeah. But
Is it better? Like, does flanking get better if you do it from directly behind?
uh no. But let's see. What I was thinking about is whether then you could have the high elf initiate come around the flanks there to put some distance between it. You don't want to lose the other shock serpent, right?
Not particularly, because it's at 24 out of 25 XP for Trooper.
So what you can do is that initiate that's a veteran cause it to suffer an opportunity attack because that will use one of the attacks of the hunter
Oh,
spider,
you're
and
right.
then it will have only 2 attacks. So
I
it's
see.
much less likely to kill that shock serpent that's
Although the
guarding.
initiate can currently fall back to the left, and it can still take an opportunity attack.
Yeah, but if it goes around, you're
Would it be better to
probably
fall
gonna
back?
because then you're gonna still have to deal with the warg, and if the initiate's nice and close, it can help set up flanking with its lightning.
Right.
So I
Okay.
would have the penguin move 2 tiles around the flank, and it'll still be able to flank the spider, but that way
Hmm.
it'll
He'll lose one of his attacks if he moves 2 tiles.
it should only take 2 attacks to kill the dread spider, and this will guarantee it doesn't take retaliations or more than one
8,
retaliation.
14. Oh, you're right. It's guaranteed to in two
Yeah,
attacks. Anyway, you're right. I didn't do
yeah,
the math on that. Okay.
and
Sure.
it might lure the warg into attacking the penguin instead of the shock serpent. So shock serpent still might end up dead, but this way, The dire penguin, don't forget, can heal with lifesteal. In
Yeah.
fact, it will heal doing this.
Okay. Oh, what? That's
It
really unlucky. Huh.
Yep, it rolled very poor. You rolled
I th-
poorly, and you took a
How did I roll
retaliation.
for? I, I thought I had 28 damage minimum.
No, I think that the minimum damage was 20. Was You had a very small chance that you had to roll like the worst possible damage for it not to
Hmm.
die. That was just terrible RNG. But now you can have the initiate finish it off the other one by closing the melee, so it'll suffer an opportunity attack. Um,
Oh yeah, I guess the initiate can just kill it off easily enough, huh? All
yeah,
right, let's just move
it
one
could,
tile.
or actually, I would have it move at least 2 tiles so that it's better positioned to set up flanking in the warg, or even 3, and you could kill it with a ranged attack actually. But yeah, I would have the
I can
initiate.
only move. It can only move two.
Oh, we can only move. Well, I'd have it move 2.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I'll
to
have it
provoke.
move 2 tiles.
Yep, and provoke an attack of opportunity that way.
All
Uh,
right. And I'll have it finish
and that way there's no
the red
chance of the
spider.
shock serpent that's guarding dying.
There we
Um,
go. And now this is an expert high elf initiate.
nice. When it reaches elite rank, it'll evolve. So 25 more XP, and you'll get a Storm Sister if the initiate survives, which is not guaranteed. Um,
Okay. There we go.
and everyone's moved. Yep. There is a small risk of the warg managing to kill something, like it just
Yeah,
did.
Track Serpent's dead, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
figured that one would end up dead. The warg just tore the snake to pieces.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's still. Why is he? Oh, how is he stunned for 2 full turns?
yep.
Uh, okay.
So you won't be able to do anything with him this turn, but that's fine.
So just
You
kill the warg. Get away from the spider.
um Yeah. What you can do, you can focus all your efforts on the ward to try and minimize chances of it surviving, and also like
Yeah.
uh,
So
let's see.
should I have the high elf initiate go behind it between? Sorry. Um, the full health initiate I can have go behind the warg and shoot it from over this rock, so it'll turn around instead of flanking.
Yeah, that's smart. That'll set up flanking. That's perfect. I was
Okay.
thinking of how you could set up flanking the other one, but you can actually make it keep turning around over and over. That's perfect.
So I can hit it here,
Yep. If you're lucky, you'll
and
crit it
facing. Oh yeah, should be able to just finish it off now. Which
with
should
the
I finish it with, the
penguin.
initiate or the penguin? Penguin? Oh yeah, for
Because
healing,
for
right?
healing, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think how far you want it from the hunter spider, though. You probably want to put distance. So the penguin can move a bunch of tiles, right? Um, let's see.
I can have it be to the top right from the warg.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you can move where you still have flanking, but 2 tiles and finish it off.
Okay. Sweet.
Nice.
And penguin's leveling up. All
Yeah,
right,
it's an
then I have this
expert.
initiate just run as far as it can, up past the penguin.
Um, hold on. Which way is the hunter spider face? I'm trying to see if, yeah, your shock serpent. What you don't want is to accidentally kill the hunter spider with attacks of retaliation. Um,
Yeah.
it'll probably just keep attacking your hero since your hero is webbed, as long as everything else is far enough away. Um,
Yeah. Where should I move this shock serpent?
yeah, that's what I was thinking first. You want to discourage it from racing against the shock serpent, or else the shock serpent will kill it, and the shock serpent will
Could
die. Like,
Yeah. They
one
could
of them
kill
will,
each other off.
yeah, or yeah, well, one of them will die first, but it
Yeah,
could be either one. Neither of which would be good. Before you try to befriend it, but the befriending could fail, and then you could have to kill the hunter spider. So this isn't a
that's true.
guaranteed.
I mean, even the hero on his own is fine.
Yeah, I would move the shock serpent towards the initiate that shot, like get it, as close to that one as it
Yeah.
can, because that'll
The closest it
also,
can get is onto the salt,
yeah,
onto
or,
the
or it
stone
should be able to
tile.
move. Oh, only 3 tiles. That's right.
Yeah, it lost some
Um,
movement.
then I would actually have it go, not on the salt. The other tile can reach is 3 tiles away, so that it risks attacks opportunities if the spider tries to race the initiate, and that way it'll instead go for probably the hero. You want to guide it towards the thing that won't hit back. So yeah, I would go not to the salt, but the 1 tile south of the salt. That's 3 away, just out in the middle of the open there. Just guard.
Right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that way, if the spider tries to race past, there's no route where it can reach the initiate without suffering an attack of opportunity. And the AI is usually smart enough to avoid something like that when there's an
All right.
easy target right next to it. And then you got that last initiate who hasn't moved.
Yeah.
Let's see. She can move 4 tiles, so I'd move her next to the dire penguin. Again, to put maximum distance by interposing the
Right,
hero.
right here.
Well, I meant on the other side, but yeah, far side of the penguin. And then still next to it, but close to another initiate, like next to the rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That way, using melee units as disincentives to try and reach the initiates, because otherwise they'll say, "Ooh, squishy irregular. Let me race the
Yeah.
regular instead of hitting this hero who will easily soak up the extra damage, especially because he's got victory rush. So even though he's going to be pretty hurt,
Yeah.
he'll heal 10 at the end of the fight.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, and just hope the spider doesn't decide it would rather have initiate
Yeah, there
stew.
we go.
Oof.
Uh-oh. He killed it. That sucks.
Darn it. I think he got a crit, is why he was able to kill it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it made the sound, and yeah, he did. He got a crit
Thank
on the thing. Because he didn't level up. He's still 1 XP from level up. That was the
Oh.
sound of a crit.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you rolled badly. If you hadn't critted the thing, you would have gotten a chance to try and befriend it.
Well, domain invasion, huh?
Huh?
Fugold. There's
Fugold?
enemy. Oh, there's enemy in domain. Shoot.
That's giving
The
you a
domain
warning.
grew. The domain grew to include the Archon army.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that army is a little too strong to deal with right now. But yeah, now the city's gonna be like less happy. What's the
Should I churn
happiness?
out more dwarf axemen then to take care of it?
I was gonna say, how happy is the city right now?
12.
Happiness? There should be a number
Yep.
like 100 or 200 or
No, it's exactly 12.
what are the
Okay,
numbers?
minus 200 from enemy and domain, plus 100 from in, plus 112 from terrain.
Oh, okay, it's from train. Um, I mean, it kind of sucks that that is costing you some money and stuff. I didn't realize it was the domain was gonna grow and
Yeah, should I maybe I should build axemen instead of prospectors here. Get this thing taken care of sooner. Could summon an
uh,
animal down there as well.
the problem is the
Oh,
Archon casters can heal their infantry and their archers, and their units are unholy champions, or at least their infantry are, which means that they do extra damage against their animals. which, 3 of your units are animals. So you need
Right.
like probably 4 more dwarf axemen to clear those skeletons. Maybe 3 if you're willing to lose a unit or two. Um,
What if I bring back my heroes?
uh, then it would get easier. How far away are they? Oh,
They're
wait.
up by Galbrand. I mean, they're only 2 turns away.
Oh yeah, they were gonna clear that well. And yeah,
Oh
you
yeah, that
can
thing.
try and
Hmm.
turn your one of your animal units into a ghoul, see what that does to its stats and stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I would just start training axemen at Fugold. It'll take a few turns, but you'll eventually have enough.
All right. I can
C-
train one every turn.
Yeah. How many? Oh, you still can. How much production do you have still?
55 production.
Oh, and that's the cost of an axeman. It's only 55.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
perfect. I thought it was
Yeah,
like
that's funny.
75 or something.
Yeah, it's the exact numbers.
Exact
Should I
number
queue up
you
3?
need. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. It's not doesn't matter if you queue up 3 or 1. You just need to make sure you're doing one each turn. So yeah, that'll
Yeah.
give you a mental reminder what you're doing. So yeah, I would queue up 3 axemen. The
All right.
prospector can go off and do a little mining, and then actually come back and throw
Hmm.
stones to help deal with the archons. Maybe, oh, except they have projectile
Should
resistance. Maybe not.
Do you think I should get my builder on its way up to these 2 gold mines now? Build a
Hold
fort?
on. Was just looking at yeah.
That's the
Throwing
ones I
stones
just
isn't going
cleared.
to do much to people who have shields and are projectile resistant. Oh well. Sorry. Builder. Oh, you're going to surface. I was looking at the other army
Sorry.
underground.
Throwing stones? Who throws stones? Oh, the
The
mage.
prospectors. No, the
Oh,
dwarf.
prospectors? That's there.
They're irregulars. Their
Oh,
main gimmick is they can mine, but they can still throw stones
I
to
see.
like
So they're sort of
support.
rangers, mostly.
Throwing stones isn't particularly good. It just means that they're not helpless in a fight,
Okay.
basically. But
They're not
you
really
were
meant to fight.
yeah, the prospectors are surprisingly tough because they are dwarves, and I think as they level up, they get better.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forget what their stat gains or if they gain any useful abilities, but their main thing is they're miners. They're meant to
They have
mine.
Shatter Strike
When they level up,
right
or
now.
the,
They do
oh
bonus damage to Stone Skin, Frozen, and Petrified units.
yeah, well if you had, I mean, those are pretty rare
If
things
I,
to come
yeah,
across.
yeah.
Oh,
That's just one of their things.
they gain Demolisher at veteran level, so they're
Oh,
good
okay.
at. So they're good. They can be used as sappers when you attack a city, basically.
Yep.
Prospectors can mine walls. So yeah, they're miners. They're good at mining walls when you attack a city. They're good at mining, just for money or to clear a tunnel, to make a
Yep.
tunnel. So yeah, that's their
Speaking
main
of,
thing is they mine.
how do you recommend I like mine with my? Should I just like walk back and forth in a straight line and just like clear cut this thing, or?
Hold on. So you're asking about the builder. What did you
Sorry,
want to know?
I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want.
The I just cleared those gold mines right with that battle with the orc. So I've got a builder down south that just finished building a fort. Oh no, I forgot what he was doing. Yeah, he's on his way to build a fort next to the lucky clovers.
Yeah, because that gives gold. And
Okay.
where was it? It was gonna be on the shore, I think,
Yeah,
so that
and
it
it
would
was gonna
avenge.
be close enough to the melons as well for a city to
Yeah,
claim.
yeah, because when if you upgrade the fort to stone walls, all the melons would be in the range right from the beginning. Though you don't need to upgrade it
You
till you're about to
you
settle
think
it.
you think I could use a second builder,
Um,
or should I? No, I can't.
Builders are
Hmm.
pretty darn expensive, and you got your capital built making hunters and Eleanor or whatever trying to
Yeah.
like focus on growth. Yeah, I would just go and build that wood fort with the or can your
All right.
builder reach that tile? Yeah, can it disembark this turn or it did not have enough movement?
It can't disembark this turn. It can get right there, but it can't disembark.
Oh, one, two,
Well, it
three.
could disembark on in the forests, on that forested peninsula, if that's like better.
Um.
Because remember, it will still have forestry.
Oh yeah, it
It
does
does
have.
have forestry.
Um. When a unit disembarks, it doesn't it like soak all its movement? I forget.
Um, I don't think it does. It might,
Uh.
but I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, currently it says I'll get there next turn,
Hmm.
so I
Well,
don't think it'll use all of its movement.
one thing you could do. Um. It, can it only just barely disembark on the forest, or how far can it go further after that?
It it can. It's hard to explain.
Well, I would just disembark on the nearest forest and see what.
It it can, or it can go. It can move exactly 4 tiles to the in a straight line to the bottom right, or it can disembark on like the coastline of
Hmm.
4 tiles away. Wow, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
hard to explain.
I would disembark on the nearest forest tile, like just get that far first, and
Yeah,
let's see how much movement it has left when it does that.
the nearest forest tile to it.
That's 3 tiles away from it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah,
Ah,
it
it's
still has
got
1 movement,
5 movement.
or
Uh,
yeah, 1 tile movement.
what I was going to say, what I noticed is you see that thing in the middle of the lake, right?
Yeah,
That you could eventually clear that site, and if you had a fortress, uh, 1 tile to the right of where the builder currently is,
yeah,
then you would be able to build a city, and it would be in the range of the city before too long. Like if it was a stone fort, it would only be 1 tile outside the domain, and then once it grew to a village, it would be in the domain, right?
yeah.
Um, my point being, the reason I'm mentioning that is, you might want to build a road. Yeah, and yeah, it would clear the forest when you build the road, but you're going to need a city site anyways, and this is kind of a distant site for a city, so the road will help with moving around quickly so that you can
What
rush
yields
in.
would that thing give me anyway?
I have no idea. Or you know what? You could just start building a fortress there now, and then go do the Lucky Clover one later. This will save your builder some movement,
I'd
and
rather. I don't think that's worth it though.
well, because your builder costs 4 upkeep. Oh, only 4 upkeep. Um,
'Cause the sooner I get the clover, the better.
yeah, you only get 10 gold from the clover though. So and this would save you backtracking at least a turn, so it's like 6 gold net cost, but
Mm.
or you could end up doing a water fortress to bring that thing in your domain without building an actual city.
Oh yeah, that's
But
probably easier.
it's cheaper, but you can't turn water fortresses in a city. Whereas a land fort, you can build a city eventually, and it'll train units and stuff, and you can build shrines. Um, it
There's
is
not much
close.
in this city that's. There's not much here worth settling for though. There'd only be like one treasure site, so I feel like
Yeah,
fortress probably works better.
it would just be more of a filler city. It's true. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and
maybe not.
I've got space.
Well, if you don't want to do that right now, though, what you could do is select the build road option and start moving to the southwest. Then it'll be quicker to backtrack here later, and your
Mm,
builder should be able to clear 2 of the forest tiles and turn them into road tiles if it moves towards the clover now. You see what I'm saying?
I think I'd rather just keep them as forests.
If you're not going to build a city there right this second.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really see the need for a city there because I feel like it's just gonna be crowded out by like if
Hmm.
it, by like the city that I'm gonna put to the south by the Clover and by like
Yeah.
this fort right up here
It
that
will.
that I have
Yeah.
built on the library.
Well,
I feel
another
like it's just
poss.
a
Yeah, that
little
might be.
too
It
close.
is a little crowded. I was gonna say there's a couple other city sites that could eventually. One over by the hasteberries. Actually, that might be better because it can have the hasteberries and that thing in the middle. But and there's another treasure site in the water too, I think. So you actually the best site might be due east on that other bit of forest. See what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
So I might do a watchtower
Hmm.
at the very end of the peninsula. Then I might do a road to that tile so that you can, if you're just gonna have a watchtower here, you don't really need the forest for like city happiness, for elven
Won't
city
this
happiness.
won't won't the other cities be reaching this peninsula though?
Uh, Eventually, but or if you don't want to clear the forest, you
Hmm.
can just leave it. You are elves, it's thematic. But yeah, I would build a watchtower at the very tip of the peninsula. That'll also tell you what's on that, what's guarding that thing, maybe if there's guards, and maybe
Yeah.
it'll tell you something about the site. I don't know. You need line of sight to at least know
Yeah,
what
this
the
isn't a
site
bad.
gives.
It's not a bad place for a watchtower.
Yeah, and you'll still be able to start building the fortress next turn. Like it's not costing you any time. That's what I was gonna say. If you built the fort like now,
I
I
see.
think, but I'm not sure if.
Hmm.
But yeah, you could just do a watchtower here. It'll keep an eye on the water, um, or a fort. But yeah, that will crowd the other one. But it's a decent spot
Hmm.
for a watchtower.
Yeah, I think I'll put a watchtower there. I think that's my preference.
Yeah, watchtower is cheaper, and I mean, how much did it cost? Like just 50 gold, right?
Yeah, I
Or
think 40
40.
even.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not too worried about like spamming out as many cities as possible. I'd
Yeah.
rather I don't know. I'm figuring things out.
Oh, you're not the type of Civ player who like figures out how to fit the most possible cities into a continent?
No, no. I try to build the best cities as
Well,
possible instead.
well, oh
You
yeah,
know?
well in Civ the strategies you build the best sites first and you leave space between them. Like you build them far apart and you leave space between and
Yeah,
then you build what's known as filler cities in the little spaces between. And those cities are never going to be very productive, but it's better to have them than not,
yeah,
you know? So that's what I was thinking is this would be like a filler city site and you just reserve it with a fort now so that it doesn't get blocked by other cities expanding. But a
yeah.
watchtower works and there actually is a much
I
better site
suppose.
due east near the hasteberries because that city will have extra production from the hasteberries. Although
I
it's
don't know.
gonna take a
Usually there's enough space that I don't feel like I have to settle like filler cities. You know. Usually I just expand
uh,
more outwards.
yeah, it's a big map, but
I guess it
every
depends
city
on.
is an extra shrine. In this game, having more like there's nothing you can do to make cities grow faster a lot of times. I mean, a little bit, but it's slow. There's nothing you can do to like
Yeah,
hyper drive it. It's not like Civ where you can have
you
a
can't just
city.
spam out farms. Yeah,
Yeah. So so it's often worthwhile having a lot of small villages. And a big city won't produce tier one units any faster. It'll still be one a turn.
yeah,
It's
that's
not
true.
like there's multi
Yeah, I
production.
see. So I suppose having a couple crappy cities is still like
Yeah, just to spit
helpful
out
to make
tier
like
one
the worst
units to like
units.
garrison and stuff and
Hmm.
scouts and tier two
Yeah.
support units sometimes, you know,
Yeah,
because
I suppose.
but yeah, you but this could
Hmm.
actually be a better city say
It's
anyways. Might actually
mostly
be
I mostly just don't want to clear all these forests.
Well, yeah, I can see
Honestly, that's
that.
the main thing.
I was gonna say a thing you could do, when you could do is a little bit like further inland, build a dwarven city like right next to the mountains, because dwarves love mountains, and that would be able to reach that mana tree eventually. Get
Oh yeah.
that in its domain, and it would be let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5
Actually,
away.
looks like there's a decent just dwarven city like between the mana tree and that like forge and that inn and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, that's on the edge of the Blight though. Very dangerous.
Oh, right. They hate Blight too, don't they?
Yes, and you don't have a way to clear it. So
Actually,
I would stay the
yeah,
heck away from the Blight and instead settle on next to water, which allow you to build boat units. Is the other thing. You don't have that many
right.
coastal sites.
Fair enough. Yeah, I
Um,
suppose that makes sense.
and since this lake turns out to be connected to a river, which your scout just found, the that river might let you dominate a huge portion of the map. And if you have a bunch of cities on the water, you can occasionally build boat units without really, when you have nothing better to do, and send them like down the river and maybe,
Yeah.
support fights. One thing is you might end up being able to lure the giants next to the river or the lake and like hit them with ships. Like
My
have a fight of land
my
units and ships against them if you can lure them onto that like forest that's next to the water or something or on the beach.
my orcs my my orc my orcs army still has movement. Should I clear something else up here? There's those 3 wisps to clear. That'll clear that mana node. Start getting me more mana. Um, there's Magma Forge next
Hold
to
on.
the city that they're gonna grow to next turn. And then
Um,
there's a farm right next to where I am, right next to these gold mines that's gonna get enveloped by the next city that I'm gonna settle. Or
I wouldn't.
presumably next.
Well, I wouldn't worry about a city right away. A simple fortress can work the 2 gold mines.
But yeah. But I mean, well, I don't know. Is It's probably where my next settler is gonna go, though, right? Unless you think there's a better spot somewhere.
Um,
But it
well, I
seems
was
pretty
gonna
decent to me.
say these mountains make dwarves happy, and dwarves don't
Right.
care about. So I was gonna say you might end up building. I forget if you can build a fortress directly next to a gold mine. I think you can. So you could actually build a fortress nestled against the
Would
mountains between the 2 gold mines, and then
my
eventually build
fort?
this.
Oh, sorry.
Or you could build it one to southwest. So it's a little closer to the farm, but favored terrain makes cities happier. So and
So you
dwarves
think
like
this would be a better
mountains.
dwarven city than elven city?
Yeah, with all those mountains,
Hmm.
definitely. But
There's roughly similar amount of forest, though. Plus the potential to grow more forests. You can't. Can you raise mountains actually?
no,
Okay.
mountains are forever. Um, but yeah, if you had a city with stone walls, you could actually have
I don't know.
the great farms already in the range of the stone fortress and still be very close to mountains. So that's probably the best thing to do. Because happy seas produce more money, they grow faster, and they produce more mana and
Yeah.
knowledge. Happy seas are just better in every way.
Do dwarves
Um,
or
mountains.
dislike? They don't care about the cold.
They don't care about the cold, and they like mountains. So
Oh, okay.
they like mountains. They like cavern wall tiles, and I
Mountains,
forget.
coastal mountains, tropical, and blighted. Okay. They only
Yeah,
dislike tropical and blighted,
yeah.
so they'll
They
be
don't
fine.
like the heat. They don't mind the cold at all. Yeah,
Hmm.
so you could have that orcs army go deal with. I was gonna say the mana node. That's because
Yeah.
that will the magma forge is completely irrelevant to the frosting city since it's a
Yeah.
vassal. But the mana node produces mana, and you're kind of low on that.
So it's higher priority.
Much
Hmm.
higher priority. Plus, it's an untyped mana node, so you could actually type it as I
Ah,
forget
yeah,
what it.
air.
air and make it an air node to get for extra mana.
Okay.
Because you're an air master, right?
Should I get? Yeah, yeah, I am. Should I give them some time to heal, or do you think they're good to go this turn?
It's just 3 wisps. You'll probably be alright. There's a very small chance that they could maybe
I
kill
could
the.
summon another animal on them. I do have summon wild animal.
Um,
Unless you think that is just, more useful elsewhere.
I guess it depends on what you find
Hmm.
elsewhere.
Well, I might want to. Should I move my rogue leader down a little closer to this uh watchtower in the blight? See if I want to clear that watchtower.
I was gonna say there's that runes or whatever, but yeah, you might do the watchtower. But first I would gather the 2 units that are next to him, so there's all 6. Then go onto the clover, so they all become lucky.
That's 7 total. Oh,
Oh,
one of them invisible? Or
uh, yeah, that is 7
which
total. Right.
who should I
I
leave out?
uh,
The reed serpent?
yeah, the reed serpent's just pretty disposable. I mean, it's a trooper, but it's still garbage
Yeah.
unit.
Okay. And
Yeah, I
then
would move those units onto the clover, so they all become lucky.
all right. Maximize a unit's luck. Oh, I just got an achievement for that.
Someone became
Sweet.
very lucky.
I guess so. What's very lucky?
That's when you stack the luck effect twice. A unit becomes very lucky instead of
Hmm.
just lucky. I don't see any very lucky units.
25%?
I guess it's just an achievement for the first time you made a unit lucky.
Oh, maybe it's because it's a full army stack.
I don't think so.
Hmm.
But yeah, now you could send this. You could send your leader has the most movement, so I would just send him to scout towards the watchtower and see if it's anything you want to fight. He can move ahead of the army 2 tiles and see what's there. He's also a Tigran, so he has barons running, so he can cross that terrain with very little penalty. So I would have Shira the Bard just move 2 tiles directly towards the watchtower and see what's there.
All right. 3 units, 2 orc impalers, and an orc spearman.
Pikeman, Spearman, more
Yeah.
of a Javelineer, really. I forget this. The Spearman, yeah, it does have a shield, doesn't it? Yeah, they all, but the Impalers don't have shields. Hmm. It's gonna be a bit of a slightly tougher fight, but especially because it's in the Blight and your
Do you
units
think
hate.
they'll need the animal summon?
Um,
Do you think they could
no.
use it more than the other army?
Uh, the other army you probably want the Amel summon because there'll be other sites to clear after that, like
That's
whatever's.
true. There are more. There's 3 sites up here I want to clear,
Yeah,
at least.
it looks
This
like
down
that
here,
lost library is epic, so probably not worth clearing because it's gonna be more dangerous.
and I can only fit 6 in anyway, and there's
Yeah,
already 7.
and they're all. I would just do the Watchtower for now. So yeah, I would gather
Okay.
all the units that are on the clover and
Oh,
just
there's
make them.
dense vegetation too. That's great.
Yeah, that'll help offset the blight penalty to happiness. So I would put those
Okay.
6 next to the Watchtower, and you can also bring the Reed Serpent. The Reed Serpent can just stand
Does
out
the
on
reed
the.
serpent have a preference?
No. Ooh,
Wetlands concealment.
shit. Look to the west. Do you see those lost
Oh,
souls?
yeah. 3 of them, and they're aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
How dangerous are they?
Uh, depends. Depends how lucky they get. Uh, one of the problems is that they have physical protection, so they're hard to kill, and then they
Oh,
come back. Uh,
yeah. Right. Those things.
They're weak against fire and spirit. They're immune to frost damage, I think. Or no, just protected. So
Blight, they're immune to.
the dire penguin.
That does suck.
Oh, the dire penguin would do well against them though. Actually, because
Storm
defensively,
Sisters
it's
have some. Storm Sisters and Initiate should have some decent damage on them. I mean, normal damage, I suppose, but it's not being protected against.
looks like they
Hmm.
do frost and spirit, no blight. Luckily, I was thinking blight. If you're careful in fighting the orcs, there's a small risk, but I would definitely bring the reed serpent along to support your army.
All right. Should I put
Um,
it also in the dense vegetation, or
it doesn't matter, and uh, if it just how many
if
tiles
I
are
don't,
these?
then it'll be closer to the Lost Souls.
Yeah, the lost souls are probably an attack either way, but you can actually get a little bit of visibility on what's to the west if you. So I would just, yeah, I would just put it out in the barrens. The reed serpent.
Okay. So
Uh,
take a look and see what's over here first. Nothing in particular.
yeah, I'd put it on the barrens, but I was gonna say I was looking at the bard. The bard doesn't do anything to buff the stack, right? So, oh no, minor bard
Um.
skills gives the army plus 200. That's right. Okay, it's making everyone's morale high. So yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
want to.
that's pretty handy actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the Shira herself likes being on the Baron more than because she's a Tigrant, so she actually prefers to be on Baron
Oh
tiles.
right,
But
she is.
the elves all prefer the forest, so I would just leave it
Mhm.
how it currently is. And
Okay.